Hello, this is Arcades, and welcome to the next installment in my QuickStart Foundry guide videos. I hope you're having a good time. Hope you're having a good day. Now, for what today's video is going to be about is, well, these two items that are being made in front of me. We have the casings, and we have the Ignum fuel rods. So we're going to get these together, get them put over, and yeah. So, right now, and we just got to get these assembled, get them set up, and then they're going to go into these machines, which I have currently here making the Ignum fuel rods, and we got to get all the other stuff that we had got assembled, put together, the wire and the Ignum pellets, put it all together to make our fuel rods. And then I'm going to give you a quick brief overview of what they can be used for and why I have two lines here. And we're back here in our little guide world. So we are currently going to finish up making Ignum fuel rods in this, because we're going to make these casings, and then we're going to come over here and we're going to make these. And I will talk about these a little bit. Now, for for what we need to do today is we need to get the casing made so that we can use this. As you can see, it requires 12 a minute. The casing is made at 12 a minute, so one machine to one. Pretty simple and straightforward. And even this is 12 a minute. So all we really got to do is get this line of steel. We have the advanced machinery parts. Put them into one of these, and then get all three items, because we have this made. We made that last episode. We got that set up last episode, and tie it in with this, and we'll have our fuel rods. So let's get to it. Okay, so quick break here real quick and build. So for the casings, they'll be under component here. They're fuel rod casings. As we looked over there, it's underneath your components list. And like I said, we're just taking advanced machinery parts and steel beams, put them together to make the casings. And it's pretty simple and straightforward. It's like any other test find. And this is where you're going to find it. It's under components. I thought I'd cover it again. I might have covered it before, but I'm just going over it again real quick for this. So here you go. This is where it'll be in the list to find it to set it up. Okay, so as a quick step real quick, as also, this one we're going to be setting to the Ignum fuel rods. which again is under component right here next to the fuel rod casings. So I'm going to set it to that real quick, and yeah, be on our way again. Okay, so here's the last component we need. Everything's set up, so as soon as I place this, well, and this, we now have everything for our Ignum fuel rods on their way. So most of this was just the build and getting everything pieced together. Because as you can see, we now have, this has got its things, and we are now currently making fuel rods. As you can see, they are, yeah. So, we are now officially making Ignum fuel rods. And yeah, this is the last piece we technically needed for Pack 3. This was the ultimate goal of this one. Okay, so now for Ignum fuel rods, let's grab these, and I'm going to show you what they're useful for. Now, we will set this up probably later to make this exchange, but I'm going to show you what they're useful for. Because what they do is they provide 200 megajoules of power. Now, this is how all this stuff consumes the power when it goes to consume, how much it gets out of it. So, say, where's it at? Right here. Yeah. So, if you see, it says fuel value 200 megajoules. The residual is the fuel rod casing. What that means is that, let me get rid of that for a second. I'm going to manage the inventory so I can do this by hand real quick. And I'm going to place in these fuel rods. Now, what will happen is that when it goes to spend these, I can't exactly force it to spend it right now, because I think I'm running off of solar completely at the moment. Yep, we are running off of solar completely right now. But what it will do when the nighttime comes around and that thing starts running, it will burn off that Ignum fuel rod. Okay, here we go. So, as you can see, it's burning through what it had originally. And as you see, it emptied it out and created a casing. This is the residual. And normally you could use a port on here, on any of these ports, to create an outbound. Now the cool thing about this is if you use it as a power source, you can send the casings back. So in the end, all you're really spending to make the fuel rods, because you're getting the rod back for power consumption, you're just using the enriched Ignum pellets and the wire. That's all you're actually using for this. So you can take that residual back. Let me actually hook that back up before I forget about it and be like, why isn't my power working? Because you forgot to hook this back up. Genius. Okay, but what that means is then you can take and create a beltway that'll bring the Ignum fuel rods back over here, back to your processing. As we can tell, like, you know, this place is turning into spaghetti with all this right now. Back into here, and you can just reintroduce it here. So this then becomes lower in demand, which then lowers your demand of the steel and these things, at least for in terms of Pack 3. which is ultimately what we're heading for with this build right now. Because outside of this, and even then, I'll show you later, we don't even need all that much for Pack 3. We can send most of this over to the power plant. And it'll be simple enough overall. It's not a huge deal, but it's something you can do. So, as you can see, it's already pretty much full. Now, that's pretty much the basis of what we're doing. I'm going to build up a stockpile of these for the next episode, which next one we will actually be making the Research Pack 3. So we can start going through all of this and unlocking Tier 4, which will open up to a few important pieces thing to really ramp up what we're doing. Because you know, everything we've been doing here, we've been running off of 320 ore a minute. That's how all this currently runs, is basing off that. Once we get the next stage 4, chemicals will start coming into things. I just say chemicals overall because it's basically oil processing, but I just say chemicals because, you know, anyways. So, and on top of that allows the next big stage of stuff. Something I've already technically done a video on, but it will become available for us to build here, and I will build it here again. I have actually something cool in mind I want to do with my main facility, but yeah. Alright, so that's the basic gist of it. We have ourselves some Ignum fuel rods being made. And as you can see, it took us, you know, it was a quick build setup. Okay. So, as a little bit of side note for the Ignum fuel rods. So, how they're used for the power, I thought I'd give an example here, is you have, as I said before, you'll have the fuel rods coming into your power plant. They'll come in this manner, and you can feed them into the machinery. And as you can see, they get consumed. And they will eject out the casings, which as you can see here on this line, is coming back in return. And I set it up, you know, in case stuff gets a little overstocked. But that's basically how this works. So they'll come back on a return line, and you'll bring them back. As you can see, I got a freight elevator there. And if you look under here, I have a set of belts that bring in the fuel rods, and this belt that sends it back out. And it comes back through here. And as you can see, this is where they come out from on that one belt. You have, this is the output and the input. You get the output fuel rods are going out over to the power plant, and then they'll see the casings, there we go, coming back, and they get injected back into the system. And right here, I have it coming in as a priority, so they will be used beforehand, so it doesn't back up that system and get sent back through. And that's how you deal with the casings as a fuel source. I keep hitting the wrong buttons. So yeah, I'm Arcades. I stream every Sunday and Monday night doing every Sunday and Monday night doing engineering games on twitch.tv as Arcades Test. I hope you can join me there. I hope you had a good time. I hope you enjoyed what you watched. This is Arcades signing out. Have yourself a good day.